everyone. In this video we are starting with exercise 2.1. That means the first exercise of the chapter of linear equation in one variable. Let us look at the questions now. In the previous video already I have explained the basic things, the preliminary informations necessary for solving the questions of this exercise. Let us look at the first one. This is a very simple question. X minus 2 is equal to 7. X minus 2 equals to 7. So while starting with the solution part, in this equation x minus 2 equals to 7. In the previous video already I told you that our first intention, our first motive is to make the term, the unknown term, the variable x, independent of the rest of the terms associated with it. Here we find minus 2 associated with x. That means on the left hand side of this equation we are getting x minus 2 equals to 7. Therefore, for removing this minus 2 from the LHS and to make the term x independent of minus 2, we must have to add 2 on both the sides. Then only on LHS minus 2 plus 2 will be equal to 0, and this will make the term x independent of minus 2. While doing so, while adding 2 on both the sides for keeping the equality of this equation balanced, we have to add 2 on both the sides. Okay, so minus 2 plus 2 on LHS will give you 0, and that means x will be alone on LHS. X will be equal to, on the right hand side, 7 plus 2 is equal to 9, and that is how we got the result x is equal to 9. That is the solution of this given equation. This is the answer of the first question. Let us move on to the second question now. Here the equation given is y plus 3 is equal to 10. Here the unknown variable is y. For making this term y independent of plus 3, of course we have to subtract 3 from both the sides. Means whatever sign is there with 3 initially, that is plus. For getting the result 0 with y on the left hand side, we have to put minus 3 on both the sides. So subtracting 3 from both the sides, we are getting y plus 3 minus 3 is equal to 10 minus 3. While subtracting 3 from both the sides, I am getting this result. So plus 3 minus 3 will be giving you 0. So plus 3 minus 3 will be giving you the result 0, and we are getting back y alone in one side, that is LHS. While on the right hand side, 10 minus 3, we are getting the result 7. Here I have provided the side note also. Subtracting 3 from both the sides, we are getting this result. It is very good habit. If you write side note or the required points, what operations is carried out in every step by the side of the sum, it is actually very impressive. That is why if you make a habit of writing the steps, means what steps you are following as side note, it is a very good habit. So moving on to next question, question number 3. 6 equals to z plus 2. 6 equals to z plus 2. This is also something similar to previous sums only. So here the variable is present on the right hand side. In the previous sums we already got the variable always present on the left hand side, but in this sum the variable is present on the right hand side. So it doesn't matter. On the right hand side with z, we get the term plus 2. So it is very clear that we have to remove this plus 2 from z by subtracting 2 from both the sides. Side note is also given, subtracting 2 from both the sides. So when we subtract 2 from both the sides, on the right hand side if we observe, we shall get that plus 2 minus 2 will be equal to 0. This will make the term z independent of the rest of the terms. And so on right hand side only z is left behind, while on the left hand side 6 minus 2, because the same term is subtracted from both the sides, that is 2. So 6 minus 2 will be giving you the result 4. And so writing it reversely, shifting z to LHS and 4 to RHS, I'm getting here z is equal to 4, and that is the required answer, required solution of this equation given. Let us proceed to question number 4 now. Here in this case the equation given is 3 by 7 plus x is equal to 17 by 7. This question is also similar to previous questions only, but the terms associated with x and the term present on the right hand side are in fraction form. So one note is given here. This is only to understand and not for writing. So what is said here, in this sum on the left hand side we have the fraction 3 by 7. That means this is the term associated with the variable x. Now to get the value of x, we must have to keep x alone on LHS. This is already explained to you in the previous sums. This can be done only by subtracting 3 by 7 from both the sides of the equation. So you can understand, only to keep x alone in one side we must have to subtract the other term 3 by 7 from both the sides. By doing so we shall get x alone in one side, and on the other side there will be lying the value of x. Let us check it in the solution part. So below, just below this note part, the solution is provided. In this part, what is the first step? The first step followed here is subtraction of 3 by 7 from both the sides, and the side note is also given. So while subtracting 3 by 7 from both the sides, we are getting x alone in one side, because 3 by 7 minus 3 by 7, these two results got cancelled. That is equal to 17 by 7 minus 3 by 7. So of course we have to take LCM here. In both the fractions on right hand side, the denominators are 7 and 7. That means the same denominator. That is why the LCM will be none other than 7. So the numerator part will contain the term 17 minus 3. How to take LCM? All these things already you got in class 7. So after this 17 minus 3 in the on RHS, if we check the numerator part, 17 minus 3 will be resulting into 14, and that is divided by 7. So while doing cancellation we got back x is equal to 2, and that is the solution of this particular equation. Now proceeding to question number 5. That means in this part 6x equals to 12. This is very simple sum. There is only one term associated with x, that is what? 6, and we find 6 multiplied to x. So there is only one way out in our hand to remove 6 which is multiplied to x. We have to divide both the sides by 6. When we divide both the sides, that means LHS and RHS by 6, we shall be getting 6x by 6. That means 6x by 6 will be equal to 12 by 6. So 6 got cancelled, only x will be left, and 12 when we shall be dividing by 6, the result will come as 2. So our answer for x will be equal to 2. So here as I explained to you, the result we got as x is equal to 2. We have to divide both the sides by 6, and only x will be left behind on the left hand side, and while on right hand side we got it as 2. Next, moving on to question number 6, I got here t by 5 is equal to 10. This is another kind of problem. So we find the term 5 associated with t. So how it is associated? T is divided by 5. T is divided by 5. When this term is divided by 5, our prime concern is to remove 5 from this particular expression and thereby making t independent of 5. How can we do this? Since t is divided by 5, there is only one way out in our hand to remove 5, and that is what? Both the sides should be multiplied by 5. Both the sides should be multiplied by 5. So when I multiply here 5 into t by 5, that is equal to 10 into 5. 5 got cancelled and the t will be equal to 10 ultimately. So 5 gets cancelled here. T is left alone on LHS, while on right hand side 10 into 5 will be giving you the result 50. So let us check the solution part. So t by 5 is equal to 10. We already got the equation is t by 5 is equal to 10. While multiplying both the sides by 5, we got t by 5 into 5 and 10 into 5. Because by the same term 5 we have to multiply both the sides. By doing that on LHS, the denominator 5 gets cancelled with the numerator 5. So t is alone on one side, and on the right hand side the result is 50, and this is the answer. So next let us proceed with question number 7. In this question, what is given? Twice x by 3 is equal to 18. That means with x, the only term associated is 2 by 3. So actually this sum can be carried out in two ways, in two steps. First of all, we have to focus with the removal of 3. Let us check the explanation part. Here on left hand side, the denominator is 3. Of course the denominator is 3. We have to take twice x. We have to take the term twice x and make it independent of 3. How can we make it independent of 3? There is only one way out. When there is division, there should be multiplication applied for removal. Okay, so both the sides should be multiplied by 3, and by doing this we can remove 3 on LHS, while on the other side 18 will be getting multiplied by 3. And after that, after this multiplication by 3, what is left? Twice x is equal to 18 into 3. 18 into 3. Now next we have to pay our attention to the removal of the term 2. Removal of the term 2 from x, and we shall divide, and for that we have to divide both the sides by 2. Dividing both the sides by 2, we shall get what? Twice x by 2. So 2 will be getting cancelled. Twice x means 2 into x. So 2 into x by 2 will be giving us back the result of x, and 18 into 3, while on the right hand side we are getting back 18 into 3 divided by 2. That means the quantity which we already had on right hand side in the previous step, that should be divided by 2. While dividing that by 2, we are getting 18 into 3 divided by 2. So this 18 is getting cancelled by 2, resulting into 9. Yes or no? 2 9s are 18. So the terms what are left on right hand side are 9 and 3, and both are multiplied to each other. So ultimately in the last step we are getting back the result of x as 27. How we got it? 9 3s are 27. So that's all. So this is the solution of question number 7. Next let us look at question number 8. In question number 8, what are the terms given on the right on the LHS? It is 1.6. Don't think that this is 1 into 6. It should be 1.6. It is 1.6. Okay, that is equal to y by 1.5. Y by 1.5. Now let us look at the steps, the explanation part. So what is said here? Here the variable is y, that is unknown to us. is found on the right hand side of the equation. So you can see that y is present on the right hand side of this equation. On the right hand side, the variable y is found divided by 1.5. That is also clear. With the term y, what else is found associated? That is 1.5, and that also in the denominator part. So 1.5 on the right hand side is playing the role of denominator. That means the denominator on the right hand side is 1.5. So now to make y independent of, means y should be free from 1.5. So what is the way out? So we want to remove 1.5 from the denominator part, and how can we do that? By multiplying both the sides by 1.5. Yes or no? So when we multiply both the sides by 1.5, the denominator 1.5 on the RHS on the right hand side will be getting cancelled with 1.5. So only y will be left alone in one side, that is right hand side, while on the other side, on the left hand side, 1.6 gets multiplied with 1.5. So what is left here? 1.6 into 1.5, that is equal to only y on the right hand side. So y is equal to 2.4, and that is the solution of question number 8. So I hope you understood. So when there is a term associated with a variable as denominator, means the term is dividing the variable, in that case there is only one way out, that is what? By the same term both the sides should be multiplied, as we are doing here, because y is divided by 1.5. To remove this 1.5, we have to multiply both the sides by 1.5. So after getting cancelled, means 1.5 on the RHS, when it gets cancelled, only y is left behind, and this y is equal to 2.4. So y is equal to 2.4 here, and this is the required solution. Y is equal to 2.4, which we get after multiplying 1.6 by 1.5. The result is 2.40, and here I am writing 2.4 because 0 can be ignored. Now moving on to question number 9. So here the equation given is 7x minus 9 equals to 16. Let us first look at the explanation part, which is not to be written but only to understand. So what is said here? Here on the LHS, along with the term containing x, that is 7x, means the term involving x is 7x, that is present on LHS. There is another term minus 9. It is very clear from the LHS. With 7x we find the term minus 9. While on the other side, that means on RHS, 16 is present. To make this term involving x, that is 7x, free from minus 9, what can we do? To make the term involving x, that means 7x, independent of minus 9, we have to add 9 on both the sides. This you can understand because already in previous sums we got that where there is minus something present with the x term, that can be removed only by adding the same term on both the sides. So here in this case minus 9 is there. To remove it we have to add plus 9 on left hand side, and the same thing should be carried out on the right hand side also. That is why the first step to be followed here is what? On both the sides we have to add 9. After that, when we add 9 on both the sides, 9 minus 9 will get cancelled. What will be left? Only 7x will be left on the left hand side. So again we have to concentrate on removing 7 from x, thereby keeping x alone on LHS. So let's check the solution part. So the first step that we are following here is what? We are adding 9 on both the sides. 7x minus 9 plus 9, that is equal to 16 plus 9. A side note is also provided. Adding 9 on both the sides we are getting what? 7x, the later part minus 9 plus 9 is ultimately 0, so no need of writing this, equal to 16 plus 9, because 9 is getting added not only on LHS but also in the right hand side also, on the right hand side. So 7x will be kept alone on the left hand side, while on the right hand side we shall be getting back 16 plus 9, that is 25. Now for making x independent of 7, this term 7, we have to divide both the sides by 7, because 7 is initially multiplied to x. So we have only one way out in our hand to remove 7, that is division of both the sides by 7. So x is kept alone on the left hand side, while on the right hand side we are getting 25 by 7, and this is the required answer. Next, question number 10. Question number 10 is also something similar to the previous sum. 14y minus 8 is equal to 13. So this is already said here that the equation is exactly similar to question number 9. So students, you can try it yourself. Please try. So next, moving on to question number 11. This is also something similar to previous two questions. Let us proceed with this one. So 17 plus 6p is present on the left hand side, and that is equal to 9 on the right hand side. So let us first look at the explanation part. Remember one thing, you do not have to write this part. This is only for your for understanding the steps. Here the variable is p, that means the unknown term is nothing but p, and the term with p is 6p. Actually the term involving p is 6p. On the right hand side with 6p there is another term 17, which is getting added to 6p. So for making the term involving the variable, that is 6p, independent of 17, what can we do? As you all know, we have to subtract 17 from both the sides. Then only 17 minus 17 will be getting cancelled on the left hand side. Okay, so that is what's said here. To make 6p free from 17, we are to subtract 17 from both the sides. Then 6p on the left hand, 6p is left behind on left hand side only. So when 6p is left alone on the left hand side, we have to focus on the removal of 6 from p. 6 is getting multiplied with p here. There is only one way out to remove 6. That is what? We have to divide both the sides by 6. Let us check the solution part. This is the equation already given in the question. Then the first step followed here is what? From both the sides, this term 17 is subtracted, because 17 was initially added to 6p. So to remove this 17, we have to subtract 17 from both the sides. So this makes 6p independent on LHS. So LHS now carries only 6p, while on the RHS we find the term 9 minus 17. You already know this kind of calculations. The bigger term is carrying negative sign, while the smaller term is positive. So while carrying out the operation is subtraction, and the result will be carrying negative sign with it. So here the answer on the right hand side we are getting as minus 8. Now we have to focus on the removal of 6 from p on the left hand side, and for doing that both the sides are to be divided by 6, and while doing so 6 are getting cancelled on the left hand side, while on the right hand side minus 8 by 6 on cancellation we are getting 4 by 3. So p is equal to minus 4 by 3. The side notes are given. First step was what? Subtracting 17 from both the sides. Then next step what we followed is dividing both the sides by 6, and the last step is what? You have to reduce the fraction to the lowest form. So the answer required is minus 4 by 3. So next, let us move on to question number 12. Here again, the term involving x carries denominator 3. X by 3 plus 1 is equal to 17 by 5. So let us check the explanation part. Here we are to shift 1 from the LHS. It is very clear that the term involving x, that is x by 3, this term has to be made independent of 1. That means x by 3 we have to make free from 1, and that is why 1 should be shifted to the opposite side. This shifting can be done only by subtracting 1 from both the sides, yes or no. So that is the first thing we are to proceed with. This is step 1. From both the sides we are subtracting minus 1. Okay, while subtracting minus 1 we are getting x by 3 left on LHS, while on the right hand side we are getting 7 by 15 minus 1. Yes or no? After this, x by 3 is again left behind on LHS, while on the right hand side we are getting, on simplification of the previous term, we are getting back minus 8 by 15. This is the result, minus 8 by 15. So in the next step we have to remove 3 from the denominator part of x by 3. So how can we remove this? Both the sides should be multiplied by 3. When both the sides are multiplied by 3, this 3 got cancelled, and on the other side minus 8 by 15, that means minus 8 by 15 into 3. Okay, so 3 cancels 3 cancels out 15 to give 5. So ultimately on the right hand side we are getting minus 8 by 5, and the required result is x is equal to minus 8 by 5. So that's all for this particular exercise. So we shall, in the next video we shall proceed with exercise 2.2. I think you could follow whatever is explained in this video. So please go through, try to understand. Thank you all.